At the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yellow, where's the blue lady? No. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check, check, check.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Yellow, yellow. I've got blue lady. 59. Yellow, yellow. Charlie.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. The 7th play now, this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From his goal line here, Hill. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, but now it'll be 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Squeeze. Hey, Charlie. Way to go. Check 52.
A shotgun snap for Hill. This is the tight end Fant. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild. Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this away to the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Pull it high.
Hill now to throw. Funches has it complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, Zoo.
Mike's Bobo.
From the gun, here's Hill. Flush to his right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Down. 91. You draw corker.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready? 50, plant.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Set. 10-2 soft. Hey, beat them.
Here's a give to Lindsey running right. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Hey, orbit.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Here I come. Where's 52? Watch it go.
Out of the gun. Hill letting one go deep for the end. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Check 26, check 26. Check 99.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Hey, check 24. Check 24. Kill.
On 1st down, Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
I'm going back to you. Joker. He's coming. Double up.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes rolling to his right. It's complete to Robinson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
You gotta go right here. You gotta play big person.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Check three, check three, check three. Check four, check four.
Now here's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They go play action. Now Mahomes on the move to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that.
Ready, ready. 50, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Hey, let's get in that hole.
Now.
On 2nd down, it's Lenzen. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
50's the
On 1st down, it's Hill. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Darren Lee showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, here we go.
5-2 is the mic. Mike.
Hey, lock it.
Bound to lose 1.
Kill, kill, kill.
Fight.
To try again after the sack. Hill. Dance. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashawn Gary. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Watch out for Hill on the return. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And going deep for Hill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check 52 to Mike. Check.
A final shot before break. Hill steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with...
And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, deep. Man up, deep. Snap.
Hill on third down. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touch.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double general. West.
Again, it's Mixon.
Check 31.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Sam off. Hey, wahoo. 52, 5.
Operating from the gun. Hill. He's going to float this one deep right side. They've got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
36.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put them.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's get this.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Mahomes now to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
We got this.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Protein spill. Hey, high 7.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here.
Go. Double dog. That's the way. Go.
Here's Hill. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Interception, baby, all day, all day. Hello, 180. Hey, 43. Rush in.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. On second down, here's Mixon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Hasn't had his best game running the football here tonight, but hey, that's a critical spot right there to convert on third down, and he did it.
And the lights are shining just a little bit brighter right now, aren't they? You remember the beginning of the game? If he gets this first down, everybody's happy.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Nicole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw again on second down. Hill. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and that'll make it third down. The Broncos on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, Delta. Mike's 50. 5.
From the gun, Hill. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Denver. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nigel Bradham just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Here I come again.
Hey, 57, 57.
Here I come again.
Let's get it.
Back near his goal line. Here's Mahomes looking deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Fielded at about the 28. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Baby, that's a baby shot.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hill, he's going to loft one deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And in 2 plays just like that, they're already operating in the red zone. They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
50, plant.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 15-yard line.
Get it.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Hill, flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The kick by McManus is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Check three.
Once again, they run with Mixon. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Working from the gun, Mahomes being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Hill. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. On first down, Hill. He'll find Lindsey here. And he goes out right around the 39. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
25, check 25.
And they will take a knee here. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Chiefs, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
run in the box, and guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Hey, Orville.
Throwing, Mayfield. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
First down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
180.
57 for Mike. Tackles, tackles.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And he slings one that's incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Forced out to his left. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. A screen to Bell. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Landry now on the return. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. We have played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go to Johnson again, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Real.
Mayfield now from the 50. And that will be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eric Murray. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. On first down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Sliding out of the pocket. It's complete. It's Miller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of 2 there. Second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Bonham, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Strong left, strong left. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alert!
Mike 50.
Just like that.
Hey, we got to
Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check 37. Check 37. Hey, no timeout. Time to go.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. And the Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. To throw is Watson. Airing one out for Boyd. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Running the jet sweep, Landry, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On third down, Mayfield looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go on fourth. Watson. He's got his man, Boyd. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. On first down, it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the first down sack. Watson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Switch.
Here's Watson throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Browns, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.
About to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she wanted like me cause her lame, she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running.
Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass back.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, you be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out, flash. I never switch, I never switch.
20